All right, good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? All of you fantastic individuals. All right, so we got a few things to talk about today, about Bitcoin, KuCoin, and a few other things. All right, there's a lot of rumors going on out there, and sometimes rumors become true. We're going to talk about all of that in today's video, but first, you know the drill. Bitget, the new partners for the Trade Talk community. They have received regulatory licenses for the US, Canada, as well as Australia, making them a trusted exchange. Perfect for US users and no KYC. They have different options such as Quanto, which is a swap futures contract, as well as copy trading. Trading on Bitget can be done through either the mobile app or web applications. Bitget has built a reputation of being a safe, dependable, and valid platform. Compared to most popular crypto exchanges, Bitget has by far the lowest transaction fees. The trading platforms are easy to operate, making the deposit and withdrawal process very straightforward. Placing trades on the platform is easy and executions are fantastic. The user interface is nice to look at and not clunky like other exchanges I've used in the past, so if you would like to give Bitget a chance, there is a link in the description down below, and use my referral code XTSC. Once again, that is X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie. When you sign up, make your first on-chain or fiat deposit, transfer it into your USDT margined futures account, and you will receive a tiered reward of up to $4,000. Show them some love. New sponsor. Click the link. Bitget, the new. Alright, so enough of that. Let's get it on. Alright, so Bitcoin hitting daily support, massive daily support. It's the last daily support. All right, that's $18,944. Yesterday we took a trade at this support, and it was a small bounce. We were only looking for the daily high because we're day traders. Our targets are always that day's high. If we're short, we're looking for that day's low. That way we can take profits, move our stops to break even, and then if trend continuation occurs and stops us out, the trade was profitable. All right, that's how you need to approach these markets, especially when you're in a massive downtrend. All right, you are in a bear market across all risk assets, so make sure you're trading safely and you're using risk capital. Now, about the rumors that, KuCoin and other exchanges are going down. I think the rumors are coming from this guy right here. He hasn't outright said that, those exchanges are going down, but he is the owner of FTX. All right. So basically, he's poaching volume. I mean, he's trying to help, it seems, as what I've read in this article. He's trying to help some exchanges, but says that some are going to go down. Now, right here, there's a portion in this article where this says Japanese exchange CoinCheck was hacked for $530 million in crypto in 2018. Singapore exchange KuCoin lost $275 million in 2020. And then in December 2021, Cayman Island-based Bitmart was breached for $200 million back in 2016. Bitfinex was hacked as well for nearly 12,000 or 120,000 Bitcoins, worth $2.5 billion now. So that I don't know if that's him saying this because it's not in quotes, or if it's the writer of this article. So yeah, all of these exchanges were hacked. I don't know if I've never even heard of most of those. I've heard of KuCoin. I've heard of Bitfinex. The rest of them never heard of. If you're putting money on exchange, it should be trading capital only. The majority of your crypto funds or your savings account, whatever you want to call it, should be in cold storage, not on exchange. None of them, especially in bear markets, because bear markets are so volatile. There is other things happening on the surface or under the surface on a lot of these companies. Last time we had a bear market, there were a ton of crypto exchanges that were insolvent and went under. That's going to happen every single time there's a bear market in the crypto market because it's unregulated. It is the Wild West. There are literally exchanges that pop up almost all the time, take your money and then bounce. They just disappear, right? Rug pulls, like all of these things are very, very popular inside of crypto. So if you have an amount of money on exchange, and I don't mean any exchange, just whatever exchange you're trading on, if it is more than, like, say, 5% of your net worth, you need to shrink that down drastically. You have to preserve your capital. If it's it's like the amount of money that I have on exchange is tiny compared to the amount of money that I trade FX with, because these things are so unstable. Anything that is unregulated, I do not trust it with a grain of salt, right? I don't. So the amount of money that I'm trading with is smaller than the amount of money that I trade with on Forex or even in the stock market. My risk to the downside, meaning if every cent that I have on exchange goes away, I will be fine. Nothing will happen other than I lost a small portion of my overall net worth. Very tiny percentage, right? Very tiny. So please understand that. You guys, a lot of you are new to this and you do not understand it, but you need to make sure that the amount of money that you have on any exchange is an amount of money that you're going to be fine with losing. All right? So when I get more money, obviously I put that into a HODL account, and then I have cold storage, right? Offline. So I use the exchange for my HODL account just as an on-ramp and an off-ramp. It's not just sitting there, right? You guys have to protect your downside risk. All right. If you got a lot more than 5% of your total net worth on exchange, you are over leveraged. So please fix that problem today while you still can. Please do not wait until you read headlines in the next week that say, your favorite exchange, just drop in their name, went under. All right. Yes, he's going to try to buy as many of these things as he can, as long as they are okay. If they just need a little loan to get out of the hole they're in, he'll go ahead and invest in that company. He's a very smart businessman. Very smart. All right. So yeah, he's going to be happy when a lot of these smaller competitors go down. He will be ecstatic. So make sure you guys get yourself get that taken care of, please, quickly as possible. Also, if they do start going down, they have to own Bitcoin in order to basically do business. They have to have Bitcoin on the books, on their balance sheet, in order to allow you to trade futures products such as inverse swap contracts or anything else. So if they go under, they're going to liquidate their assets. Their biggest asset in most cases is Bitcoin. So what you've seen when Luna went under, Bitcoin just started crashing. That will happen if more of these things start to go under. So we're not looking at, we're not looking at this like it's safe. It's not. Crypto is the Wild West. If you want to trade safe, trade stocks, trade Forex on a reputable, licensed and regulated broker/exchange. All right, moving on. So we had a nice day trade the other day on Bitcoin. Now we're back. We're down here to daily support. Tomorrow or tonight is the monthly close. Dun, 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 dun. That's what we've been waiting for all week. During last Sunday's live stream for channel members only, we discussed this. All right. We also discussed it a little bit on Tuesday. So what we're looking for, since we only have one support level around us currently, which is that's daily support, and then you have weekly support all the way up here. So you've already broken well below that. We are just watching daily to support to see if it holds. We wanted this so that way when this month closes, depending on where it is in reference to this support, we will start to look for long positions, looking for an expansion to the upside, like a relief rally, if you will, a bounce, so to speak. But there is a lot of risks out there, inherent risks that come along with, assets being in a bear market. So I'm not going to dump 100% of my money 100x long here. No, I'm going to watch it, see if it even holds as support. Currently, you got a very tiny bounce. If you start trading under it, then there's a good chance it's not going to hold. We know where these potential areas could be, but since we can't see into the future and we don't know what price is going to do, we have to mitigate our risk, and these are good levels to do that. So moving forward, I'm looking for the monthly open to happen, and I'm looking for it to trade really close to this region. It can go a little bit lower. It could come down here and liquidate this. I'm fine with that, as long as it starts to catch a bid in the next week or two after the monthly range happens. Then I will start to get long looking for that relief rally or that monthly expansion to the upside. I'm not looking for anything more than $25,000. So I'm looking for a slight bounce. That's it. I'm just trying to trade up with the bounce because that's how I operate. I operate by trading inside of these very tiny ranges. That's where I find an edge. But yeah, there's nothing to state that any of this is almost over or that a low has been found. We are in a very good area to look to start to be a buyer. You're oversold more so than you've ever been before in Bitcoin's history on the weekly time frame. You're at the undervalued zone on the MVRVZ score. There are other metrics that suggest that, we are looking for a near-term bottom pretty soon. But it's just indicators. That doesn't mean it will. This thing can keep going lower and lower and lower, and then we could wake up in 2 weeks from now and this could be trading at $5,000. There's nothing in the world that says it has to stop. There's only one thing that will make it stop, and that is buyers. We need buyers. All right? So here's something of note. Addresses with a balance of 10,000 Bitcoins or more. Those are big boy accounts, all right? 10,000 Bitcoins. If I go over here and look, you can see how this level or this line was pretty much flattened out. Now I do have a 14-day simple moving average attached to this because if I don't, it looks all squiggly and jiggly. So I just applied the 14-day simple moving average just to smooth it out a bit. You can see how this started to go down when Bitcoin started to rally. These are your big boys. These are your smart boys, right? Your smart boys, your pros. They're taking profits as price is moving up, right? Same thing we do over here. Then this bottoms out for a little while. And then when we start this last leg of the bear market rally that we're currently in right now, right? You can see how they have been buying again. These are your big boys, your smart boys. They're buying. They're buying as price is going lower. We can also look at, another metric that shows a lot of buying going on across exchanges. Now, I want to also say something that this doesn't mean every exchange. This is just basically the big boys, right? The bigger ones, the more popular exchanges. Where is it at? I'm looking right at it and I can't see it. There it is, right there. So this metric also shows us that there's a ton of accumulating going on. A lot of buying still to this day. So your buying really started to kick in, let's go ahead and say May 23rd. This is June 30th. So well over a month you have been seeing a lot of buying going on, a lot of accumulation. That doesn't mean that price is going to stop going down, because all the people that are buying, people are obviously they're being sold into, because price is still going lower. All right. So the safe way to do this is to wait till you get the bounce, let the bounce confirm itself as a bounce, and then start to look to get long. The weekly range, or the monthly high or low is usually put in by like the first week of the month. So if you got 4 weeks in a monthly range, you want to see like the month's high or the month's low to be set pretty early on into the month. Now, this doesn't happen 100% of the time. Like everything else in trading, it works, just not all the time. You can go back and look on your own time when you have time on the daily time frame. Go back and look at the beginning of some of these monthlies and see basically how they started. So May 1st here, boom, monthly high, down, right? That was the monthly high. Happened within the first week. April, you can do this. You just keep going back and back. April 1st, all right, go up, go up, go up, go up, boom. April 3rd, sets in the monthly high. The high of April was set in on the 3rd day of the month. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, it doesn't always happen, but that's what we're looking for. And since price is going down, it has been going down for many months, we're going to be looking for a tiny relief bounce. So we want this month, the next month, today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's going to be the month of July. We want, like, by the first week, after the 4th of July maybe, we want that low to be set. Now, if we keep making new lows, then I'm wrong. Then there's, the pretty good chance that you're going to see a sideways choppy month, or we're just wrong. So we're looking for it, but it don't mean it's going to happen. Last line of defense for us on the daily time frame is going to be $18,944.60. That is daily support. You are coming in pretty hot. The last 4 days of bearishness were very slow, very tiny ranges. Yesterday we chopped literally sideways all freaking day. And it wasn't until the end of the day we got the spike into the level that we had our profits set, or our target right there. So you can see what we sat through the majority of the day yesterday. All right, so yeah, something big's going on here. If we go look at the day, at the dollar, let's pull that up. You're gonna see that it's barely up. All right, it is up, but it's not moving big. Let's get off the 5-minute. Get on the hourly. It's not up big. It's up 0.8%. We did have a lot of sideways stuff happen yesterday, later in the day, and then last night didn't really do nothing. Looks like the London session maybe have set the low of day in for the dollar, so the dollar looks like it's going to get strong. This is the level we were watching on the dollar down here, daily support. It's the same, basically the same level that we're looking at Bitcoin. The main difference between the US dollar and Bitcoin is simple. The dollar is in an uptrend. So buying off support in an uptrend is the way to go. Right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to buy the bottom. So we're against the trend. Taking trades against the trend do not work out nearly as often. So just keep that in mind. This is a very small position that we are looking to enter at this level. But as long as the DXY is gaining strength, I mean, it's into a supply zone. If this is going to be, the top I have no clue what's going on. I restarted this thing before I even got going, so we'll forget about it. All right, moving on. So Euro, this is what we were looking for. We were watching Daily Res. We had it Tuesday during the live stream. We were discussing this trade. Boom. So good on everybody that got it, right? Obviously, I got my profits off and I moved my stop to break even, so I'm just sitting in it. Yesterday, it didn't really do a whole lot, but we did get another opportunity to take a new short, and basically, hourly res held, right? Perfectly. Coming in over here, 6 o'clock, 7 a.m., which is basically the honey hole for looking for New York session entries, 7 to 10, 7 a.m., binged off of hourly res, and boom, down. So that would have been another opportunity yesterday to take. All right? So that's all you got to do, basically, right? You look for these longer term areas, and you just set and wait for them to get tagged. When they get tagged, that's your signal. Right now, we're getting a signal on Bitcoin, but it's coming in hot, right? That's coming in very, very hot. Now, is it possible that this big down move is just a liquidation of yesterday's daily support? Yeah, it's possible. I'd say a lot of people got long yesterday at daily support. So because you were there at it, right? You were at daily support. So just once you got under the swing low or yesterday's low, that's when this thing decided to go poof, right? There's the low that we had our stops marked off against. So that's where I was stopped out overnight. And you're straight down to the next daily support. So we'll see if we get a relief rally here. We like it, but we'll see if it happens or not. All right? It is getting a slight bounce, but that bounce is probably likely to be sold into because there's a lot of selling going on today on Bitcoin. If we go over here and look at the SPX 500, you're getting a lot of sell side on that as well. I mean, you're down almost 2%, 1.45% on the S&P 500 during the London session. So, yeah, more downside. Remember, guys, we're looking for these markets to range and chop for the next several months until we get CPI prints that tell us that either inflation is still trending higher or trending lower. If inflation is going to continue to trend higher, the Fed is going to continue to be hawkish, and stocks and risk is going to continue to sell off. So why not just sell the resistance on Bitcoin? It's simply because we're getting overstretched. We're into a very big buy zone. A lot of people are putting on more Bitcoin here. A lot of people. A lot of big boys are doing it. Small boys are doing it. A lot of people's buying Bitcoin right now. So that's what we're looking for. Moving on. Let me see here. So, right here. So a lot of people were asking me, is this the area to get short on the S&P 500? And I basically told them no, because of, we were above the 21 exponential moving average. But once you lose that, then you can be bearish again. Like, I use the 21 exponential moving average as one thing and one thing only, and that's to basically give me the near-term trend. Where is it? Oh, goodness. What is going on here? Excuse me for a second. Losing internet is never fun. All right, so anyways, the 21 exponential moving average was here. So you can see this day was a pretty big breakdown. That's probably because that was where support was. Let me see if I can get in here. I don't know why. Everything just seems to be being a pain in my ass right now. Just give me a second. Goodness. All right. I'm trying to be here. My internet is freaking terrible, and it always has been. It's not a money thing. If I've thrown so much money at it to fix the problem, it still hasn't. Let me just move this thing real quick. All right, let's see if that helps. Doesn't look like it wants to, but we'll give it a shot. Trading view stuck. All right, what's going on? Everything's working now. You should be fine. There we go. See. All right, let's go. Let's move on. Such a pain in the ass. All right. There we go. So there is nothing really other than anything else to look at on Bitcoin. I mean, all your indicators are going to be pegged on oversold, probably dailies and weeklies. You're hitting oversold again on the daily right here on the RSI. So I mean, yeah, it's a bear market. It's a downtrend. So we're just looking for a little relief rally. Let me go up and just make sure I'm not missing anybody or anything important. When your storage, where your storage USDC, just, I mean, you can put it in whatever you want to put it in. It doesn't really matter. On exchanges are supposedly to be used as on ramps and off ramps, more or less. I leave a little bit of capital on them so I can trade, because I'm a trader. But if you're just a hodler, if you're only holding it, you shouldn't have anything on exchange. But most people that watch these videos is because they want to be a trader. Remember, cryptos is not my forte. Forex and stocks, options are. But I've been very successful this year with crypto simply because we were selling it, right? So, it's become a bigger portion of these videos, but my forte is Forex. That's where I'm focusing on most of the time, is FX. Bitcoin trades very, very good and sometimes simple, right? Very simple. This has been a methodical sell-off, like absolute perfection. We nailed just about every single massive swing high that you could nail in this thing. So there's no trade to take on Euro USD because it's already happening, right? You're at the low of day, so there's really nothing to do there. Let's see, USD JPY. Maybe. I just do not like shorting this thing, especially with the yen weakness right now, and the dollar is strong today. USD CAD barely up, but you're at the high of day, coming into a pretty decent area of resistance intraday. Pound dollar. Is there something here? Maybe. You're up on the day just a little bit. So let's see if the DXY continues. It's up, but it's down a little bit now, 0.6%. So it's like the DXY is like pretty much mid-range right now. So literally it can go anywhere. It can literally go anywhere. Up is probably going to be the more feasible thing because it's in an uptrend. So we'll trade it as that. We'll watch pound USD for a short. Let's look at it on the daily. You're pretty extended on the daily and you just had a big move yesterday. So more than likely today's going to be a choppy range bound day on the pound. You are into a daily level of demand. I don't like these big ass candles like this when I am looking for demand and supply zones, simply because it's a big candle. I like the small ones better, the small ranges like this one for instance. But when price came into that one, it just kept going, so it did not hold. But you're probably getting just a relief bounce from yesterday, and there is intraday resistance. So, I mean, it looks like it's already trying to make that move, but right now your resistance is going to be there and there. Those are your two near-term intraday resistance levels. One spot 21475, one spot 21427. It is early, and this thing could come back up by 9 o'clock. Right? There's still 3 hours before that happens. So don't stress right now, and do not chase this down. We do not short this unless it gets up here. One spot 21475 is the preferred area. So do not just chase price right now because, I nail trades, but we're waiting for these things to get to our areas. We're snipers. We're not ground soldiers. Pound Aussie, not really doing much of anything. I guess you could say order flow looks a little bearish. But let's go look at the daily. Yeah, it looks like it's stalling out at support. You've tagged it 3 days now, 1, 2, and today. Excuse me. You've not been able to close a daily under there. So we could be getting ready to see this thing pop or a breakdown. Obviously, there's only 2 things that this can do, right? I understand that. You're at the 21 exponential moving average as well. So there is another form of support. You're above the 50 on the RSI still. So you have to lean more bullish than bearish when this occurs. So if you want to trade pound Aussie, you're going to be watching one spot 76095. That's daily support. All right, coming into it right now. If you start closing hourlies below it, then it's going to look more and more like it's trying to break down. But technically, I would just watch that level. I would focus on this level here. If it starts struggling to close hourlies below it, we'll probably get long and target high of day. This is high of day right there. So depending on where this finds support, you do have an hourly demand zone here. So there's 2 levels here to potentially watch to take entries. And this would be your target. Now, this is where people get a little bit confused when I say I'm targeting high of day. The majority of the time, if there's an intraday resistance before the high of day, I will take profits there instead of the high of day, because you don't always get a tag of the high of day. So if I were to get long on pound Aussie, I would be looking to get long at the lowest level, one spot 75995, and my profit taking would start happening at one spot 76561, because that's intraday resistance. So if I took an entry here, stopped below this bearish candle's low, and I was to get an expansion back up, that's where I would take profit, not the high, because there's a chance that price tags that and rolls right back over. So there is support down here, but your highs are getting lower. Lower high. So it looks like it's trying to break down. Overall, long term, you're just basically sideways for months. Since April the 5th, you've been trading in a sideways range on the lows. On the lows. So, is this bullish or bearish? Well, according to the indicators, it's more bullish than bearish currently. But it did struggle at resistance. And it's monthly res. Right there. What the hell is going on? Thank you. There you go. A monthly res held this month's high. Boom. So, and like I said, monthly candles don't always just expand. Sometimes they print dojis like this. Right? That could happen on Bitcoin for the July month. It could happen all July. You could just trade sideways. So we're just trying to position ourselves to make decent entries here. So watch pound Aussie. I like it. I am going to throw it on watch for sure. Oh, it's already on watch. Never mind. Good. Because it's at support. All right. Let's go back in for anybody that's not watching or listening. Let me find it again. So daily support, one spot 76095. That's daily support. You don't really have an intraday support. but you do have an intraday demand. Intraday demand, one spot 75995. All right. Target, one spot 76561. All right, beautiful. Let's move on. We good now again? Yeah, I know, man. It's freaking internet's terrible. 21 EMA is at 3868. 3868. That's probably on the SPX. Thank you so much for that, Michelle. Yeah, I was clearly having issues. There's nothing you could do about it when it happens. Yeah, so that's why you got that range. Downside range was pretty, not big, but bigger than the previous day's range. Is because that's where the stops were, right? People had their stops sitting at 38.91. Once price started to trade under that, that's basically when you lost it, right there. Boom. So anybody that got long, looking for that 21 exponential moving average to hold as support, they got their heads ripped off. And that could happen on pound Aussie too, guys. The 21 exponential and daily support does not mean it will hold. It's just a guide, if you will. But the SPX is coming into an old area of resistance and support right now. So this could hold. Watch it. See what happens. 37.67 spot 90 is going to be old daily res. See if it acts as support on the SPX. Once again, you are trying to buy a market that is in a downtrend. Those trades do not typically work out as often as they would if it was in an uptrend. Right now, the trend is probably the safest trend would be to wait for resistance and sell it. But once we got over that 21, I don't like it as a sell any longer. I need price to get under it. Then you're under it. So now we'll wait for resistance again. There's really no resistance to find in this, though. So it's just kind of in no man's land. Aussie dollar, and then we'll go look at Aussie yen, and then I'll answer some questions. Aussie dollar's breaking down, but it did not get below support, did it? No, it did not. It closed right at support yesterday. Then yesterday opens during the Asian session. Boom, spike lower. Liquidate this swing low, and you're getting a bullish reaction. Not a big one, though. Definitely not a big one. So this is going to be basically whatever the dollar does, this will do the opposite more than likely. Aussie has been weaker as of late, but you do have an intraday support right there at 68797-ish. Let's put it on there so we know exactly where it is. 68799 intraday support. Once again, there's not a very big range here there's not a good risk to reward here. You're at 16 pips just to get back to intraday resistance. So I don't like it. Do not like it. And it's at the lows, guys. This could be breaking down. You didn't close below support, but you're having difficulty getting back over this. So I would probably more like the sell res trade on this. Let me see here. How would that affect pound Aussie? So if this is a sell trade, pound Aussie's bullish trade should work. If this finds resistance and rolls back over, then the bullish trade on pound Aussie should work. As long as pound is stronger than Aussie, that is. So, yeah, we'll keep Aussie on the watch. Aussie dollar. Let's go look at Aussie yen. This thing's just trading sideways. It was uber bullish based on yen weakness. You can definitely see that it's struggling now. You're still above the 50, but you're making lower highs. Right? 50 test, got a bounce, but it was a lower high. Come in, still a higher low too, so it's just a wedge, essentially. But you do have daily res at 94.051. We kind of wanted to see Aussie yen trade back up to 95.860. Test that level right there. That is daily supply. It is also a quarterly res, I guess. No, it was this right there. That's what we were looking at. So quarterly supply. So someone's posting stuff in the chat. I don't know what's going on. I guess somebody's arguing with other people again. Nice work, Juice. I don't know if you're in here or not. Euro Swiss. Let's go look at that. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I am very ADHD, so it's very easy for me to get sidetracked. All right, let's look at it versus Oanda. Big move down. This is based simply on Swiss franc strength. If you remember, they did that rate hike that no one was expecting the other day. And since then, this thing has just been rocking and rolling. Look at that down day. Boom. Yeah, and then it's just been rocking and rolling. There's no trade to take on this right now, simply because it's stretched out to the downside. There is no daily res, no really nothing to look at. I guess one could watch this area if this daily gets back up there, but I mean, you're stretched out, right? You're stretched out to the downside. There's no divergence there, to be fair, so I mean, this thing could keep going down. It's just yesterday was such a big down day. Today is just a sideways day. Like, yeah, maybe it finds resistance and rolls over and you get another expansion lower. But I mean, this thing's been just cooking it to the downside. So this is not a trade setup that I would be interested in at all. Not for either direction. You're just in the middle of no man's land. If you think it's going to continue to go lower, watch that level I talked about. And then intraday, I guess you do have a potential supply zone right there. But if you close an hourly candle above that, I would scratch it. Remember, I would not take this trade at all, because today is just a sideways choppy day. It might look, good now, but just watch this level. 1 hourly closure above that big figure, then you leave it alone. Big figure being 1. So you're trading at 99,907. So 1 is going to be very close to this. Right there's your 1. That is parity on this. Oh, that's the wrong parity on this. Hang on, let me put this in. All right, let's go out and look at it. How long has it been trading under this? So it's been a long time since it's been here. Also, you just took out a massive swing low. Obviously, if the trend's going to continue, then that doesn't mean anything. But if this is just a liquidation event for price to move higher, it might do it. But I mean, the trend is down. I just don't see anything on it. Like, smash the likes. Thank you guys for smashing the likes. I really appreciate it. Is this Max Payne? I hope it is. I know a lot of people are hurting, my friend. A lot of people are hurting. Let's see what it's doing now. Is it continuing its bounce? Doesn't really look like it. Barely. I mean, it got a bounce, but that's it so far. You're not seeing any bullishness yet. I mean, it looks like Max Payne to me. 13K. Yeah, we do have a very important level at 13K. We talked about this level months and months and months ago, before, Bitcoin Bear was even something thought about or talked about. That's the level right there, $13,863. It is also a yearly resistance, and that level held perfectly in 2019. It wasn't until 2021 you finally broke over it. So is it possible that we get down there? Yeah, it is. Will I buy it if it gets down there? Yes, I will. Absolutely. I will buy a hand over fist if we get there. Hand over fist. I'm looking to buy 16,250 to 13,800 DCA. Am I nuts? No, I don't think you are. It looks so bearish to me. Definitely not buying here. It is very bearish. Yes, very, very bearish. But other people are buying it. So basically, you know, when other people buy, then that's typically when I want to be a buyer as well. I'm just trying to find something. Bear with me. It was probably a live stream. There it is. 11 months ago. See this? $13,891.71. That's a thumbnail. Streamed 11 months ago. That level right there. 13,891. So we've been talking about this stuff for a while, man. This is what we do here, right? We trade. Boom shakalaka. Do you use Ethernet? No, right now I'm using a Verizon mobile hotspot. I have AT&T for my home internet, but it is absolutely god awful. It doesn't work at all. So I use that mobile hotspot unit. It does better on the upload speeds. My download speeds on my home internet is good. It's the upload speeds. I don't even have one upload speed, and you got to have at least two to hold a stream. And typically this Verizon has been doing good the last 6 months. I haven't really had many problems. I did buy a Starlink. I did receive that Starlink. I had it for 2 weeks on my roof, and I never got signal, not one time. I fought back and forth with customer service. They answered me like twice. They don't have a customer service. You send them an email and they respond whenever they respond. And then after they charged me for 2 months of service, once they billed me for that second month of service, I got pissed off and told them to cancel it and they take their shit back. And they refunded me. Out of the $800 I paid them for Starlink, they gave me back $300. So I'm not very happy with Starlink right now. Bastards. They should just give me back all my money. I mean, their service was 100% useless for me. It did not work ever, and they did not help ever. But Verizon is bringing in, they're bringing in very good internet through here. It's supposed to be the end of this year, but who knows? Maybe I should just move. Luna C. LUNC just took a dump. I don't know what LUNC is. What is this? Oh, man. Oh, man. What is this? Yeah, I don't know what this is. I would probably stay away with anything that says Luna in its name. Can you look at gold, please? Yeah, absolutely. XAU USDT. Oh, sorry. There's no USDT on gold. Yeah, gold. We were bearish on gold up here because of real rates, and then gold got that move. We didn't, unfortunately, get a profitable trade out of this, unfortunately, but it did do what we were expecting it to do, and it's just been trading sideways down here. It's at daily support as well, an old daily support. Well, that one broke. Then you got a trap out of it. So just use this one. Just watch this one. Since this one was basically nothing doing. 1811, 855. I mean, it's bearish. Everything is bearish. You know what I mean? Everything is bearish right now. The only thing that isn't is dollar. I mean, that pretty much tells you right there where all the money is. Everybody's invested into the dollar. When you're risk off assets don't even produce a bid. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on this year that are different than normal times. Usually Japanese yen is the preferred method for investors when there's fear in the markets. This thing got absolutely slaughtered. And the same goes for the Swiss franc. Right? Absolutely slaughtered. But to be fair, the Swiss franc is starting to get a little bit of a bid based on that rate decision. So, I mean, there's really nothing to do on gold, my friend. XAU There's just nothing to do because everything's getting pummeled. You can watch this support, but whether it holds or not is anybody's guess. That is also weekly support. I just don't like it when you get a big bounce from it and then 2 weeks later you're right back there. That's suggestive that it's going to break. It's going to break. So bearish targets will probably be that wick low right there on gold, 1786.78. So can you look to get short? Well, we usually don't short into support. So you got to wait for the breakdown. Once you get the breakdown, then you can look for selling into some resistance levels. K4 Liberty with the super chat. Thank you, my friend, for that. I appreciate it. $20. That's not cheap. Thanks, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. BTC may establish a new bottom in this bear market. Twitter poll, 10K, 15K. Yeah. Like I said, we discussed it already. We talked about it, 13.8. That's what I'm looking at for potential bear market low. Wish I would have bought some gold when it was $400, $600. Yeah. Right? I mean, that when you become a trader, you're going to be saying that to a lot of things. I wish I bought Amazon when it was $3. I wish I bought Bitcoin when it was 50 cents. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even worry about that. There is a way to make money in the markets. Going down, sideways, or up. It doesn't really matter. There are so many financial products out there. You can sell straddles. You can do so many things to make money in sideways markets. You can literally buy support, sell resistance. I mean, so many different ways to make money. Sideways and bearish markets. You're here now, so hopefully I can help you with that on your trading journey. Do you travel or live with other places in the world? No, I stick at home. It's just there's really a lot of things that I can't really discuss on the live stream because it would take a long time. But there's kind of like where I am, AT&T is my only option. I can move, 4 blocks away, and then I could get Comcast. But moving just for a solid internet connection seems a little bit loopy to me because my internet works perfectly fine for trading, right? It's only when I try to do live streams or upload videos to YouTube, that's where my internet connection becomes a problem. Other than that, I stream movies all day long on my TV, in here, in the office. Like the internet connection works just fine for everything except when I try to go live on YouTube. So, but like I said, it'll get fixed. It'll get fixed in the future when they run a faster line through here. What about ETH low target? Let's go look at it. Ethereum. What time is it? All right, we're getting ready. Let's go look at Ethereum real quick. If you have any questions about any asset, make sure you get it in there now because we are at the bottom of the chat. And I do wrap up about 6:30. So you got 5 minutes. ETH USD is looking like it wants to go back and test daily support. So like if I'm correct and we find a range here, then like when it got to resistance up here, that was the time to sell or take profits. So now you found resistance and you're coming all the way back down to the bottom edge of the range. So if a range is going to be set in here, then this is going to be the area to buy, looking for a price to slowly trade back up, right? If this is going to be a range. Now, is it possible that we get a daily closure below support today? Yes. Is it possible that the next day finally gets the bounce? Yes. So, buying the first tag of daily support, understand that intraday, hourly and 5-minute candles can trade all over that level. Treat that level like it ain't nothing. But ultimately, if it holds at the close of the day, then it's good. Unfortunately, there's no way to know if it's going to hold or not other than taking it. Luna's dead. That's what about Luna. It's dead. It is completely dead. It's dead. This asset was trading for $144. It's trading for less than a penny. It's trading for less than half a penny. It's trading in less than, it's dead. Do not trade this asset. You're going to lose your money. Yeah, you get bounces, but this thing is dead. That's a 200% move to the upside. There's just nothing to. I don't even know if you can trade this. I don't know if you can even trade it. If your exchange has it, please understand the risks that are involved trading something like this. Yeah, a tiny little spike can be 300% move to the upside, but still, there's downside too. Even though it's trading for less than a half of a penny. It was $130 3 months ago. Today it's less than half a penny. Just leave it alone. Put it out your mind. It's over. It's dead. It's never coming back. It's done. Luna 2.0, will it happen? Probably, but why would you trust this man with your money after this? And there's a rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a rumor that he was taking out withdrawals of like $68 million a pop before this happened. If that's true, then that's probably why this happened. So now he's got like $2 billion that he made rug pulling on everybody. Stay away from that. Please stay away from that. Tesla. Let's go look at Tesla. Awesome. See, range is started on Tesla. That's what we want to see Bitcoin do. Something similar to this. All right. Right now, I'm going to show you're in the middle of that range. So technically, there's nothing to do on Tesla until you get to 628.16 or 775. There's nothing to do in the middle here. Okay? Because when you set in a range like this, a lot of times, we're going to want to think that maybe this is the first leg of a new uptrend. And it's possible. But the best scenario is to wait for the outer bounds of the range. But there is daily demand right there. And yesterday it looks like he tagged it perfectly and bounced. All right. So, if you're looking for a near-term trade back up to resistance, this is like the last line in the sand before 628. If you lose this level, then this is where I would look. But it is possible that it stays in a range for a while until we get those CPI prints. That's what I'm expecting across most markets right now, is for a range to be cemented in, simply because investors are waiting for CPI. Digest, what is good coin for invest? Right now, Bitcoin's at a pretty good level. A lot of these things are probably going to go lower, my friend, but you don't typically want to invest in a coin at all-time highs. You want to invest in these assets near the lows, near the bottom. SPX, please. ZRX-USD. We did look at SPX. There's nothing to do. It's in no man's land. You're in the middle of nothing. Right here. You're coming into an old resistance right now. It doesn't seem to be holding yet. Right? This is the level to watch. So it's just right now the only thing to do is to be patient. See what happens here. If we start breaking down and closing hourlies below 37.67, it's going lower. Because ultimately, you know what I mean? You're in the middle of this near-term range. Daily support would be there, 37.58. But it's already been tagged once. Looks like it's coming in for a second tag. That's the level to watch. 37.58. Start closing hourlies below it, then leave it alone. You're probably going back down to the bottom edge of the range, which is all the way down here, where Bitcoin is right now, at the last daily support in the downtrend. And then one more. We'll do ZRX-USDT. ZRX-USDT. He didn't say what exchange, so I'm just going to assume you're trading on Binance. Most of the world is. All right, so downtrend, completely destroyed like every crypto asset. You do have a near-term support stuck on the week. You're getting a slight bounce. So I mean, I don't know what you're looking for, but this is going to be your range until you either get a weekly close above it, which is 38.97, or a weekly close below 26.45. There's a total of 12 cents in that weekly range. I understand levered up, you can, this thing probably moves pretty good, but 12 cents is not a lot of money, man. It's not a lot of money. So, I mean, you're probably getting intraday moves of less than a cent. You are. See this daily range right here? Daily low, 28 cents. Daily high, 30 cents. So this entire daily range was 2 cents. Or 20 cents. No, 2 cents. 28 cents to 30 cents is 2 cents. Not a lot of movement in there. You see what I mean? Is it the bottom of ZRX? Probably not. These things have much more lower to go. If it got to 90% off like a lot of other ones did, then yeah, I mean, you could throw a few dollars at it, see what happens, and it did. It got down to 90% off. And that's where it bounced, at 90%. What's probably going to happen is a lot of these things are going to drift lower and sideways for a while until a bottom is found on Bitcoin. Once the bottom is found on Bitcoin, then a lot of these assets will start to follow suit. But the only way Bitcoin's going to find a low is if the inflation rate starts trending lower. That's it. As long as it's going higher, all these things are going to get killed even further. So please manage your downside risk. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.